Hey everyone, I'm Tom from Ludicrous Feed. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here to review the Level 3 Aventon e-bike. Let's go check it out. And I must thank also Bikes Online, the guys and girls who supplied this bike for me to review. So thank you very much to Bikes Online. Check out their bikes, including this one, the Aventon Level 3, on their website.
To give you a quick idea of who this bike is perfect for, I would say it's for someone who commutes regularly through the city, but also likes to sit in an upright, comfortable position so it's easy on your body. Or it could be just for someone who enjoys doing some urban exploring on the weekends, like I'm about to do over the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
It's got a storage area at the back as well, so if I just press the brake, you can see both lights activate, so very safe. And you can see the suspension tubes here, and check out this seat as well. So this is perforated, so it's really quite comfortable to ride long distance. And this seat post actually has a built-in suspension as well, so if I push down, see that? That is the seat tube or seat post with suspension, and that makes it an extra comfortable ride as well. So the gear shift is over here, very easy to shift as you can see. So that's to make it easier, it's to make it harder, and there's also a light too, so you can turn that on by pushing this up button on the control pad. So let's try that right now. There we go. Obviously more impressive at night time, but trust me, it is quite bright if needed. And then to switch it off, just push that up button again. And what's handy also is that there is an indicator. So if I just press the left one, see an indicator going up there so you can see it's on. And then you can see on the back here that it's also signaling on. You can switch it off there by pressing it again, or it turns off by itself after a while. And I'll just show you the right side as well. So there it is there on the right side. But that is really quite handy from a safety point of view for cars behind you. And we've got to ring the bell, right? That's what it sounds like. And this bike is designed in California by Aventon. And the tires, if you pump it up to say, anywhere between 40 to 50 psi, depending on how comfortable you want the ride, pretty easy enough to do. Okay, so some technical specs before we go for a ride. This Aventon Level 3 e-bike has a 36 volt, 19.88 amp hour lithium-ion battery. That's about 700 watt hours. It has a range of over 100 kilometers, but obviously that depends on how hard you ride it. It's got a top speed of 25 kilometers an hour, and AC charging takes approximately 5 to 6 hours. The bike itself weighs about 30 kilograms, and it has a carrying capacity of 136 kilograms, and that is rider and payload combined. The battery itself is here, and that is also removable as well if you want to charge, say, at an office or at uni or whatever it is, or just take it into the home to charge. And the charge port is just here as well, and obviously the charger is supplied by the company when you purchase this bike. And speaking of price, this bike is about 3,000 Australian dollars. That will vary obviously depending on discounts and various special pricing throughout the year. And this is an R or regular bike, by the way. This is suitable for my height. If you want a bigger bike, if you're over 175 centimeters, then there is a large option as well. And also this is a standard bike in terms of the tube over here. There's also a step-through bike as well if you need that. But not only does this bike look good, it also feels really solid as well. And it feels really nice to touch. It is made of high-grade aluminium along with other composite materials, but it is just an absolutely beautiful looking bike, and it is really nice to ride as well, as you'll find out very shortly when I go for a ride across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which is just right there. Okay, so now let's walk through the screen, and there is a control pad over here next to the bell, which is also included with the bike. But here you can change the different modes of assistance. So if I just go up and down like this, right, I can go up to Eco, there is Sport, and there is Turbo. And there's a boost mode as well. So I normally have it on sport mode. I guess to start off, you can start with Eco just to get used to the bike, but I got used to it very quickly, and I'm on sport modes most of the time now. You can cycle through the different menus. So there's the odometer. I've ridden 26.6 kilometers already. Range 55 kilometers remaining in this bike, and 91% state of charge already. So I started off on sport mode with about 70 kilometers. There are quite a few hills in my area when I rode to my local railway station, so that's probably why the range has dropped. I'm confident there's enough range to get home once I finish the review. Obviously Turbo, the range drops a bit, but if you go to Eco, then the range picks up as well, obviously, because you're not going as fast or you don't need as much assistance. So if I go back to Sport here, then I just flick There you go, average speed. I've been traveling at 17 kilometers an hour, which is fabulous. 51 is obviously gravity assisted, not the bike. So as I was going downhill, I was going a little bit quicker sometimes. And then that's the total time ridden, hour 33, and I have reduced 4.6 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Always a good thing to know. Yeah, and that is the screen. And then if you hold down both the up and down like that, you can cycle through the options here. So connect to app, which I'll show you very shortly. Put a password on for extra security. So you can change the password anytime. So let's say if I turn the bike off like this, I'll just go back. So turn it off, okay. And then when I restart the bike, right, so in order to use the bike, I have to put my password in. With the password, you can actually lock the bike. So let's go back to the menu. You can bike lock like that, right? So I can just lock the bike like so. And if I roll it forward, there we go. So now I can't actually roll the bike forward at all. And if I just turn the bike off, there. So with the bike off, the wheels cannot move. And then I need to actually put the password in to unlock the bike. So that's a nice basic security feature to have. And then the display unit, you can set either kilometers an hour or imperial measurements. You can toggle auto power off as well and adjust the brightness. Okay, so here's the app for you guys. Pair via Bluetooth, very easy to set up. You can see the stated charge, the 86%, which correlates with the bike itself. That's the current time and date. You can power, you can lock, light, other settings, right? Display, you can change all those things that we talked about in the onboard screen. Now under ride assist, now there's a few options here as well. So obviously you can adjust the assistance level, and that correlates with what's on the bike screen as well. You can have boost mode, that gives you a temporary boost for power. Sensor switch for torque and cadence. I'll actually talk about that during the ride later in this video. Now there's also ride tune, so you can actually adjust a lot of things in this menu, and this is quite unique to Aventon as well. So, you can adjust the max torque, you can adjust the assistance level, you can adjust the pedal response as well for each setting. So, that is really quite cool. I'll just put it to factory reset because I'm happy with all the settings currently. But if you need that kind of granular assistance or granular, breakdown of your settings, then this is really where Aventon shines, because you can actually adjust in these three settings all the parameters that you require, right? So amount of torque, amount of assistance, amount of pedal response, and then it shows graphically down here what's going on as well. So there's three vectors: power, range, smoothness. You can see kind of where the balance is. So that's for turbo, that's for sport, that's for eco. So obviously eco, the balance is more towards range and smoothness. Sport is kind of a balance between the three, and the turbo obviously giving you more power. There's also a graph for assistance. So there you go, the full range, current range for turbo, for sport and eco, and then pedal response as well for eco, for sport and for turbo. So really quite useful features there, and then you can save to the cloud and obviously apply to the e-bike if you've tuned that for your ride level and comfort. And there are more security features on the app as well. So let's go to settings once again, and then let's go to security and anti-theft. So you can track your bike, which is super handy. So there it is right now. That's where the bike is sitting. You can also set an alarm for the bike. You can lock when it's powered off, right? You can have a security verification for the bike every few days, for example. So you can say every, whatever, X number of days, you want to verify that it's still here, it's still with you. There's also a lost mode as well. So, I'm not going to mark it now, but, say if you lost your bike for whatever reason, you can report the loss to Aventon. You can also activate unusual activity as well. You can set the sensitivity, low, mid, or high, clear the bike password, and geo-fencing. Now this is really cool. So you can actually, if I press edit, you can add a geo-fenced area. So we might test it right now actually. So you can set a circle, triangle, different shapes, right? You can geo-fence this park, for example. So let's do that right now. I might just triangulate it there. So it's, let's see, like say this reserve that I'm in right now. We'll give it a test. See, now we've entered the prohibited area, right? And it beeped. Now I cannot activate the bike. I can still pedal it like a normal bike, but it'll keep alarming on me, right? So that's quite handy for anti-theft. And my understanding is that it's quite a unique feature of Aventon. And you can also share the bike with someone. So if I wanted to share that with Joy, for example, I could add her as a member and then grant her access. You can even give her, temporary access or permanent access, what kind of access you want her to have, child access, renter access. So that's quite a good feature as well. Look at that, you can actually software update the bike quite regularly, which is what it's doing right now. Bike's restarting, update success, got it. So it's good that Aventon's looking after its owners. You can see the battery, it's charged once, one charge cycle. I actually wish EVs had that state of health, just to come up, show EV owners that their car is still good, but good to see the bike has got that state of health, like phones do as well, so hopefully EVs can have that one day moving forward. Okay, so that is the app, pretty straightforward. Congratulations, I've ridden 5 miles. Hey, that's nice, gamifying your ride. There you go, odometer, riding time, where I am right now, etc, average speed, all that stuff, all the good stuff is there. Okay, so I should also mention there is an assist mode, so if I just hang on to the minus button here, see that becomes assist, so I just kick the kickstand away and then I can walk the bike around, so that's quite handy. You're in like a pedestrian area, or say you're up a slope, an extra bit of power up to 6 kilometers an hour is quite useful. But yeah, otherwise I think that's pretty much the walkthrough and the specs. All that's left to do is to ride this thing on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, so stay tuned. Okay gang, let's find the entrance to the Harbour Bridge. Let's bring the gears down first. It's no problem across this kind of terrain as well. This seat suspension is very good when you do things like that. There we go, a little hill here past Luna Park. Shouldn't be any issues. Should just carve up hills. And trust me, this e-bike makes me feel a lot fitter than I am, for sure. It's, I think the exercise for me is a side benefit. But for me, a few reasons why I ride, apart from the exercise. I guess I like feeling the wind in my hair. And obviously there's another benefit of the fact that you are saving money as well. Not driving around, obviously given the current climate with fuel pricing. And it's just an enjoyable ride, right? And given that it's electric, it's powered, I'm not a fan of hills. I don't think anybody is. Let's put the indicator on. Let's ride up on here. This is a shared bike area. And the e-bike just makes a joke of hills, right? It's fabulous. Now, last time I was here to test another bike out, the on-ramp onto the bridge was not built yet. So it was a bit of a hassle to climb the steps, as you'll see in this footage here. But now with this new ramp, check this out, this is so easy now. This is such a nice design. It's taken a long time to build, but it's worth it. Looks amazing. Wow, this is so much easier than climbing those steps last time. This is so good. Wow. That is really quite ridiculous how much fun and easy this is. Okay, I'll try and overtake this rider. Try and get past them. So this does have a top speed of, like I said, 25. I'm riding on 5 already. Passing all these riders. I'm riding on the 5th gear. And there's, you know, I'm very minimal effort on my part with my legs. Like, I'm barely feeling anything in my quads. I mean, if I push it up to 6, it's actually a harder workout for me. So if I want a hard workout, I'll, you know, make it harder for me, increase the gears. But at 5, I feel like it's pretty good. Now there is 2 settings to this as well. There's torque and there's cadence. So I'm on cadence. I've tried both, and you got to use the app to flick between the 2. So with cadence, which is what I'm on right now, it's easier because if I just turn my legs more, the onboard computer will match my need for assistance, so it'll actually give me more power. Whereas with the torque setting, it'll only do that if I like work my quads harder, if that makes sense. So I guess if you want to ride for fitness, then I would use the torque setting. That's how I see it anyway in my early days of using this bike. But just for fun, if I'm just using this as a commuter bike, which is what I'd be doing, then I would just use it on cadence. Quite a sight to behold riding on the bridge, I must admit. Just feeling the wind in your hair, watching the traffic next to you, watching the boats. It is a beautiful city, Sydney. And if you ever come to Sydney, you must either walk across this bridge, ride across it, or climb it. I think walking it obviously is the cheapest. And then if you can like hire one of those bikes you saw in the video just then, those Lime bikes, I think they're called. They're lying around, those e-bikes. Not very expensive. And then there's obviously climbing it, which Joy and I have done many years ago. It is on the expensive side, obviously, but it's quite spectacular. You can see now I'm just not pedaling at all, obviously, just using gravity. And the brakes are very responsive, so they're quite powerful. You don't need to squeeze it. I'm literally only tapping it with my index finger. You can probably see on the vision there. Just for balance, I'm actually squeezing both with my index finger. And there you have it. That was literally, I think, probably a minute. Not even that, maybe. I don't know. I'll check the footage. But yeah, that's all it took to just cycle across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So yeah, if you've never done it, highly recommend it. And what better way to do it than in a Aventon Level 3. But here we are on the city side, or the southern side. You can see the train tunnels on my left. And luckily there is also a ramp on this side, so I don't need to carry this bike down the steps. Oh, okay, there is actually a decent road here. So let's see where this takes us. This could be interesting. Shared path. Need more of these in Sydney. Let's see where this goes. Ride slowly. Yep, no trouble at all. Turn the corner. Nice and slow. On this hill. I'm so happy there are no steps. Right, I know City of Sydney has got lots of bike paths. See, I don't mind riding if there are dedicated paths or shared paths with pedestrians like this. No problem. Just don't like riding on the road.
You might be asking, why is a car reviewer talking about bikes? Can my love of cars coexist with my love of riding bikes? Yes they can. Yes, as much as I love driving cool cars, there's nothing as fun as riding a bike, as long as you feel safe. And as you've seen in this video, there are safe areas to ride a bike in Sydney. Plus, it's still an electric vehicle, so bonus. There are places and shortcuts you can take with a bike that you can't with a car, and the best part is that you can park the bike anywhere, you can chain it to something. Plus the special security features, particularly with the tracking and geofencing, gives you that extra peace of mind. Plus, parking is still free, always. So yes, in a sophisticated modern city like Sydney, bikes and cars can potentially coexist with the right governance, particularly with cool e-bikes like the Aventon Level 3.
Alright, so I found the Wynyard Station. So that ends my video, guys. So thanks so much for watching. And thank you to Bikes Online as well for providing this e-bike for me to review. Until next time, happy charging.